So I actually have no idea what I'm doing here, guys. Not even really sure if I'm live. Oh, sure enough. So I don't actually expect anybody to join. Kind of just shooting from the hip here. Gonna show you something that we're working on. It's kind of cool. So one of the problems that a lot of people, or at least something that they always ask, is about putting hot cans in our bags, which you obviously can't do. You really can't do it for almost any bag. As you can see, this one's been through World War III. So we've been doing some testing on some products that aren't suppressor covers. They're actually just made for our bags. So we're trying to obviously mitigate heat. That's a big issue, obviously, with suppressors. So, and this thing looks crazy. So this is not a final product at all. This is just, we slapped it together to test it to see if it would actually hold up or if it would melt. So this is a material which will be left nameless. But it's an interesting material that actually really mitigates the heat. So what we're trying to do is get it to where you can put a can in the bag still pretty hot. Now don't get me wrong, you're not going to be able to turn it into the glowing popsicle and stick it in. That's crazy. You can see we melted some thread on this can. Because of the way we arbitrarily threw this together, what we were trying to do is make sure, this is our loop field material. So what we were trying to do is make sure this loop field survived the heat of the can. So when we stuck it on, we wanted to make sure it didn't melt through that. Because the way we envision this is an attachment product, so existing customers can actually buy this and put it into their bag. Of course, this is the final design won't look like this at all. Again, this was so we could stick the can in it and see how hot it would get. We did do some mag dumps. We stuck it in. The temperature gun kind of maxed out on us. I'm guessing it was probably about 800 degrees. Roughly what the temperature was when we were sticking it in here. This fabric held up. We did burn it a little bit, but that was because we lipped it around, which we wouldn't do. And the can touched it on the way in and just like insta melted it. But the fact that we were able to put this in here, our hook side held up, and also this didn't melt. We actually, it's very rigid. It's not the material is pretty stiff. But we pushed this down so it touched the top of the can just to see if it would melt the Cordura on top. And then again, this is the actual piece we used. The only problem we saw was where we accidentally touched the can to it physically. But our new design would likely fix that issue. That being said, I have no idea. This is the first time I've ever done this. So I have no idea if people are even here. Oh, hello. But so again, this looks crazy, but again, we're trying to figure out how to let you put cans in our bags and they still be hot. So probably still going to need some common sense here. You're not going to be able to put it in. Like I said, the glowing popsicle is not going to fly. But we did do some mag dumps and went right in, and so far the material's surviving that. So it looks promising. A little behind the scenes R&D for you guys. But yeah, so hopefully it works. But yeah, this was the rough thing we threw together just for testing purposes. But you can see it is metal-ish. I wouldn't call it metal, but metal-ish. But yeah, so it's coming along. Hopefully, we're waiting on some more samples to come in to build a more realistic prototype that'll go in the bags. Of course, we'll keep you guys up to date. But yeah, that's just something they always ask, can we put hot cans either in our bags or in our hush pouch? And of course, the default answer is no, because it will melt, especially if they're hot. Of course, Cador melts about 400-ish degrees and some change, I believe. So can't be hotter than that, and even then, might degrade over time. But if this is something you guys are actually somewhat interested in, definitely let us know so we can bump it to the top of the R&D list. But we think it's going to be pretty popular. No idea on any kind of pricing, or yeah, we haven't even made the version 2 that we think is going to be nothing like this, but more user friendly and usable in the bags. So again, not a suppressor cover. All it is going to be is for in the bags. So when you shove your gun in the bag with a hot can, it should encapsulate it and stop you from burning a massive hole in your bag. So hopefully that's something you guys are interested in. We're over here destroying finishes on cans just to figure out what works and what doesn't work. But this can has been through hell and back anyway, so no harm, no foul there. But if you guys are interested, like I said, put it in the comments, let us know. And it's the first time in a while I've done a live. The last time we did a live was just like a range day. That's not that interesting if you're not there. But if you guys want us to do more lives, let us know. More in-depth behind-the-scenes R&D stuff, so you can kind of see what we're working on. We're not doing anything super classified, top secret, so we can share a lot of what we're working on for you guys. Of course, it's all going to be gun-centric, but yeah. So hope you guys have a good and restful Sunday, and we're going to be back at it tomorrow. And this kind of little behind-the-scenes R&D. I guess I have to go up here and turn it off. First time doing